Let's get more now on what the voters were thinking as they went to the polls. David Muir is at the decision desk looking through those exit polls, and you're seeing a difference between the parties and what the voters were looking for.
Yeah, George, great to see you. This was extremely telling tonight. Look at this, a split between Republicans and Democrats on this central question when asked, should the next president come from outside the political establishment? Look at that. 50% of Republicans say they want an outsider as a candidate. Only 15% of Democratic voters want an outsider. And of those Republican voters who wanted the outsider, look at this, 63% went to Donald Trump. On the flip side, when asked, should the next president have experience in politics? Look at this. 81% of Democratic voters said yes. Only 39% of Republican voters said yes. And of those who wanted experience, 69% of Democratic voters went to Hillary Clinton on experience versus outsider. And just look at the Clinton and Trump victories tonight.
That's right. Okay, David Muir, thanks very much. Let's talk to our experts now from both political parties. Doing with Bill Kristol on the Republican side right there, the publisher of the Weekly Standard. So the Democrats kind of reverting to form, going to experience there. But right now, all the fuel, all the anger, all the energy this year on the Republican side to the outsiders.
A very good night for Donald Trump, and Matthew said earlier that some of us thought he would fade in the summer, fall, winter. I guess I shouldn't now predict that he'll collapse in the spring. That would be foolish. Very strong night for Trump, and Ted Cruz doing pretty well. So the most outsiderish senator and the purest outsider, someone who's never held elective office, running 1-2 tonight.
And Kristen Soltis-Anderson, one of the surprising things we've seen from Donald Trump across all of his victories so far, he's winning from every segment of the Republican Party. He's winning among moderates. He's winning among conservatives. He's winning among evangelical Christians.
We think about the Republican Party and we talk about it in terms of lanes. Who's winning the moderate lane, the outsider lane? On this highway, there's a 5-car pileup happening right now. Donald Trump is winning across a number of different ideological segments, but in particular, he's winning voters who have less than an income of less than $50,000 a year. He's winning voters who have less than a college degree. These are voters that have felt disenfranchised and out of the Republican Party, and they're turning to Donald Trump as someone who's finally giving them a voice.
And Cokie Roberts, you've been in Washington an awful long time. It has everyone there in Washington scratching their heads, shaking with a lot of frustration.
Well, it's beyond scratching their heads. I think there's probably heavy drinking going on tonight and among the politicians in Washington. And we had the remarkable scene today of the leader of the Senate and the leader of the House, Republican parties, coming out and making statements essentially against Donald Trump because of the Ku Klux Klan issue. But, you look at these numbers, George, and the Republicans voting in all of these states, 90% say they're angry or dissatisfied. They're terribly worried about the future, much more so than on the Democratic side. You see high numbers there, too, but much higher on the Republican side.
In fact, Donna Brazile, what you're seeing on the Democratic side is a majority of voters wanting to continue the policies of Barack Obama.
He's very popular within the Democratic Party. But, George, let me say this. Senator Sanders had a great night in terms of winning Oklahoma. He won his home state. He will still accrue a lot of delegates. But as you well know, this was a huge night for Hillary Clinton. She won Georgia, Alabama, Texas, where most of the big delegates are located tonight. As expected, this race will continue on the Democratic side because we reward our delegates proportionally. And as you well know, this is a huge month for Senator Sanders to play catch-up in caucus states later on this month.
And we still have some states outstanding. I want to get later to the whole idea of whether anybody on the Republican side can stop Donald Trump.